Good morning. It is day one of painting this hallway. I'm hoping it shouldn't take too long to get the painting done over the next couple of days. I only need to paint that door and architrave and door frame, and I also have that bit of battening around the storage cupboard. There is a couple of little bits of skirting board that are going to have to be painted, but I'm going to leave those for the moment because they're not even attached to the wall. I can paint those separately because I think I might need a little bit more to fill the gaps. I'm not sure this offcuts that I've got are large enough because they just kind of fit alongside. Let me just show you. We have like a little telephone cupboard down there that John made, and just at the edges of it, just at the sides, we need a couple of little pieces of skirting board. We have got some, but like I said, because this is not fastened back up to the wall yet, I need to make sure that those pieces of skirting board are big enough before I paint them, and then they can just be kind of stuck straight to the wall after they've been painted. So I'm going to get this paint stirred up and get a first coat on. I don't know how long I need to leave in between coats, so I could have to check the tin. I'm not sure if I'll get both coats on today, but I can make a start with that anyway. So this is the paint we've got in colour, I don't know, I can't remember. It's one that you get mixed up anyway. I don't think it's got the code on there. So let's see, how long, 1 or 2 coats, application, drying, recoatable after 16 to 24 hours. Okay, so I'm only getting the first coat on this morning. I'll have to do some more tomorrow. So I'll get this opened up and we can have a look at it and give it a stir. See, a dark chocolatey brown. It's looking quite chocolatey. I think it's the way the light is shining. I'll bring the camera a little bit further over the top. But it's quite dark. I would say it's kind of like a dark melted chocolate. So I'll stir this up and start getting it on that woodwork. So first coat of paint is on, and I'm really surprised at how well the paint has actually got on in one coat. I'll try and close this door a little bit, but not completely because obviously it's wet. It looks really shiny, but it isn't gloss. It just, because it's still wet. But this is on top of white paint, and it's gone really well. I have gone over the edges along here, but that's on purpose. So when I wallpaper up to it, it won't show a white line. Over here, on this side, is not on purpose. So I'm going to have to touch up the wall in places. But for now, I'm going to go wash the paint off my hands and clean my brush and have a coffee and a croissant. I have ended up doing pretty much nothing all afternoon. I don't know, I've been having insomnia. Well, I have insomnia issues for years, but going through a bout of it at the moment. But I slept pretty much through last night. They were dreams, so maybe it's just I didn't get restful sleep. But I mean, I must have been asleep by not long after 10, and I woke up about 5:45 this morning. So that's a fair amount of time. You know, it's reasonable. It's not a bad amount. But after lunch, I could barely keep my eyes open. I was really cold and really tired. So I came in the living room and I put the extra stove on in here. And now I'm too warm. It gets quite warm in here since we partitioned off what is now the hallway from the sitting room. And it can get a bit too hot in here. In fact, I should probably turn the fire completely down and it'll just tick away. Probably, well, all the evening. It'll probably still warm most of the night, which will make the kitty cats very happy through the night. I have separated 4 sleeves at least on the Let's Boogie sweater. That's what I've done this afternoon. Me and John have watched YouTube, and well, we watched YouTube part of the time. For the beginning half of the time I was sat here just like a zombie and was doing nothing, and then I got ratty. You know when you get overtired and you get really moody and groggy? Yeah, that was me. So we decided to watch a YouTube video, and I worked a bit on separating for sleeves. I've only done a couple of rounds so far, but there's something about a yoke sweater when you separate for sleeves and you can finally try it on and you're like, yes, it was worth it, and it fits nice. Really, really happy with it. It's just worked up really nice. The yoke it just looks really, really nice, and it looks really nice on as well. I'm really happy with it. I'm really happy I actually made adjustments and ripped back and stuff. So now it's just knit, stockinette. The pattern has got like an eyelet lace design in. I just can't be bothered with that because it's a speckle yarn, and I don't know. I don't know, it's just, if it was a fancy all over lace design it'd be different, but it's not. It's just a simple kind of eyelet every few rows thing. I just want the sweater done. The yoke is really what is going to be the fancy bit anyway, so I'm not bothering. So I did change partly out of my painting clothes. I'm still in my painting trousers, but John said I had a big line of brown paint on the back of my t-shirt because obviously I caught the door frame whilst leaning to do the other side of the door frame, so I had to get changed because I'm messy. I am a messy painter. I'm also a messy cook. The kitchen is an absolute tip by the time I finish cooking. It's one of the reasons I'm not sure what to do. We haven't finished the kitchen. There is very few parts of the house that are actually completely finished. I tiled a splash back, or backsplash depending on which part of the world you're from, at the back of the cooker. It was a pain in the bajaxy. The tiles did not want to stick, but I did it, and I put a bit of beading around it and everything. But I'm such a messy cook that there are food splashes basically everywhere behind the worktop, all along the wall, because the wall is just painted. And they won't wash off. They're things like when you splash, the worst thing is like pasta sauce or curry when it's bubbling away on the stove, or when you're making like whipping cream or something and it just goes everywhere. I am very messy, so there are little tiny dots, obviously more closer to the cooker, everywhere above the worktop in the kitchen. I mean, not really bad, but I mean they are not just tied to around the cooker area. So I'm not sure what to do about this. Obviously I can paint over it, but it's just going to get splashed up again. And I don't really relish the idea of tiling the whole thing. I mean, that would kind of solve the problem, but I don't really want to do that. It would also mean I would have to retile part of the cooker splashback to kind of tie the tiles in together. I'm tempted to just put a piece of stainless steel behind the cooker and then get like peel and stick tiles for the rest of the kitchen, but from what I can gather they're mostly like vinyl, so they're like squishy, and that's no good because you can guarantee I would dint them very quickly. I do not want what is the equivalent of anti-glitter behind my worktops, because not only am I messy, I'm also clumsy. They would get damaged pretty darn quick. So I'm not sure what to do, whether just keep repainting every so often or put some other covering on the walls. But that won't be any time before Christmas, because the hallway is a priority. I would like that done for Halloween if possible. It looks awful in there at the moment, I have to admit. Well, no, it doesn't look awful, but it's kind of one of those things where trust the process. I have it in my mind, I can visualize what it's going to look like, and it, well, in my mind it looks really good. So the brown at the moment is still looking really shiny. I'm hoping it's going to dull down as it dries. It's supposed to take a long time to dry, and it is supposed to be satin. So, and that hallway, the overhead lights are not the main lights, and I just put whatever bulbs I had in at the time. I need to get some dimmer bulbs for the roof anyway, but that won't be the main lighting for in there. It'll be much more kind of dim and mood lighting. The big bright lights are for only if you really need a bright light for whatever reason. So it'll look better, and it is a dark brown wallpaper that's going against the brown woodwork. It'll look good when it's finished. It needs all the elements together first, but I am a messy painter and I have to touch up the walls where I've caught on the adjacent wall. It doesn't matter on the wall where the wallpaper is going. I wanted it to overlap there so that when the wallpaper goes on you can't see like a white line where the white emulsion, well, where the white wall met the door frame was. So it'll be fine, it'll be fine, it'll be fine, it'll be fine, it'll be fine. So my husband thinks I'm balmy. I'm not sure he's completely sold upon the brown, but it'll be fine when it's all done. Projects after that, well, I'm itching to do something in my crafty witchy room. I want to rip out a fitted cupboard that we built in there in an alcove and replace it. Well, not replace it, but I want to move my desk into the corner. The moment it's kind of in front of that cupboard so you can't access it anyway, and I want the desk to turn end on and slot into the alcove at the end. It's quite a big desk, and it's taking up quite a lot of room in that room, but it'll look better tucked into the corner. So that is the current plan from there, and I'm itching to get started with that too. So there are lots of things I want to do before I work on the kitchen, but the kitchen does bother me a little bit, so we'll just have to see. We'll just have to see. In the meantime, I'm going to do a couple more rows on this sweater. I do feel much better than I did earlier. I was like a zombie earlier. I was exhausted. I was like a stroppy toddler who hasn't had their nap. But after a couple of hours of just resting, I feel perkier. So I'm going to start making dinner very soon. And yeah, is this what middle age is? Needing an afternoon nap like a toddler? Because that kind of is what it feels like. Or is this perimenopause, where you need naps like a toddler? Because I've never been a daytime napper. Daytime naps for me are maybe once a year events, twice sometimes, and that's when I've been either ill or so extremely tired that I haven't been able to stay awake, which I suppose that's what a nap is, but it's a rare occurrence. But suddenly I feel like I could use an afternoon nana nap. I don't know. Today has been a bit of a chatty one, but that's okay. But I'm not sure what else to talk about today. I'm sorry if it's not a very interesting one today. I hope to do some more work in the hallway tomorrow, which I guess watching paint dry is not that interesting either. That's kind of what's happening at the moment. I would like to get those cushion covers finished for the car, because if we get a break in the weather, which we haven't today, but if we get a break in the weather, I would like to do an overnighter somewhere, and I can take you along with me. And we can go camping together. And I can take my little stove and we can make coffee in the morning and enjoy the view, weather permitting. But we are forecast for 50 odd mile an hour winds tonight, and today would not be the night for it. It's not that it wouldn't be doable, it's just it wouldn't be very enjoyable. So we'll leave that for another day. Okay, I'm going to find something else to put on the YouTubes and do a couple more rows and then figure out what we're having for tea. See you tomorrow.